Rest in Peace by Megadeth is arguably one of the most famous and notable thrash metal releases of all time. Released in 1990, it's got blistering solos from Dave Mustaine and Marty Friedman, amazing drumming by Nick Menza, great classic bass playing from David Ellefson, and Dave Mustaine's signature songwriting, riff writing, and vocals. But in 2004, just like many other albums, Dave Mustaine put out a remastered version of the record, and many people my age have grown up listening to that remastered until they discovered the original. And in today's video, I'm going to break down the differences between the remaster and the original release. And to keep in mind, the remaster also means it was remixed because Dave went back and remixed all of his records up until that point. So we're going to listen through both of those, find the differences and the strange re-recordings that Dave put into the record, and you get to decide down below. Leave a comment. Which version do you like better? Do you like the remaster despite some of the re-recorded parts, or are you an original fan? Let me know in the comments down below. I also have a playlist here where I break down other remasters and remixes of albums from Pearl Jam, Megadeth, Nirvana, so go ahead and check those out in that playlist there. Okay, let's jump into the video. So here we are. I have both mixes, remasters of the record, whatever works for you. Here on the left is the 1990 version, on the right is the remix. Now I know this is YouTube music, so there's gonna be a little compression, but the video comes through on YouTube, so there was going to be compression anyways. What I'm gonna do here though is volume match both these records because the 2004 remix is mastered to a much higher level. So when I play through the 2004 one, I'm just gonna turn it down just a little bit here so we can get a similar level. So I'll turn it down a little more. Okay, that's quite close there. I'm going to be good with that one. And let's dive into this thing. So on the left, Holy War's Punishment Due. Let's start off with that one. You can hear the guitar tone and drum sounds there. Okay, here's the 2004 remix. Okay, so the things I initially kind of hear is on the original, the drums are much drier. They don't have the sampled sound of the remix. The bass seems to be lower in the mix as well, and the guitars aren't as hyped. Overall, though, I do like the balance of the 1990 version. The 2004 version has some replaced drums of Nick Menza's performance. I can't say I'm a big fan of that. Nick Menza is an incredible drummer. I want the raw feel on the original album. However, the remix does have the bass a bit boosted. There's some more top end on it. I can actually kind of hear it in this part. I can hear the bounce of that on the down part. Overall, there's like more low-mid information going on in the original mix master, so to speak. Let's jump to a part where we get some vocals from Dave Mustaine. Okay, overall, very well balanced. I do like it quite a bit. Seems like the vocals are a little louder in the remix, but not too bad. Of all the remixes that Dave did, this Rest in Peace version is one of the better ones. There's definitely some worse ones, like the Peace Sells one, where it's just like a total abomination of the original. But this one, it is definitely a redisplay of the record, but he made some changes that I'm not, totally against. The bass is a little boosted. The vocals are a little clearer. I can't say I'm totally against that. The guitar solos are louder on the remix. We'll get to some of those points there in a minute. Let's go to near the end of Holy War's The Punishment Due. Because that's about minute 5 where the guitar solo comes in. So right off the bat, we can tell the guitar solo in the remix is louder, probably 5-6 dB louder. And I gotta say, it's a nice touch. I like being able to hear the solo better. We definitely hear that on a song like Tornado of Souls, which I'll get to in a second. So overall, Holy Wars of Punishment do, Hanger 18, just have those balance changes and those mix changes. But overall, there isn't anything glaringly different between the two where it's like a re-recording or it was mixed sort of in an abominable way. I think the worst offense maybe is adding samples to the drums, but hey, it's drums, it's drum samples, it's metal, that's gonna happen. I would say that's the most grievous offense because we want to hear Nick Menzies playing and the samples are a little too present, I think, on the 2004 remix. Like, it's just clearly a different snare. It's more present. It's more present on the 2004 version, but it's clearly being swapped out, which I'm not a big fan of. But it is more modern sounding. And I do like the sustain on it. So, it's a bit of a wash there for me. Now we're going to get to some of the issues with the re-recordings here. So we've got Take No Prisoners. And if we go to the first verse here. This is the original, by the way. Okay, now remember that. We're going to go to 44 seconds, and let's see if we can hear a difference. Oh, excuse me, that's Hanger 18. So it sounds like all the vocals were retracked, and it is true that Dave Mustaine in 2004 retracked the parts from 1990. Now, I don't know if the gang vocals were also retracked. It's possible. It's possible that also the gang background vocals were retracked. Essentially, Dave went to remix some of these songs, and either the tapes were missing, they were damaged, and to complete the remix, he had no choice but to retract the vocals. I think retracking parts and then passing off this remix as the new version of Rust in Peace, I think is the most annoying aspect, or I think is the least forgivable part of doing this. If you had this remix and you made it available and people knew that some of the parts were re-recorded and it was just a reinterpretation of it, I think that's one thing. But for many years, until the last few years where the streaming services started having both versions, I didn't know a version other than the remaster existed with the original takes. So passing off this remix with re-recorded parts as the original, I think is kind of dishonest. And that's what I take the most grievance with, because these vocals are just straight up re-recorded. They're not the original takes of the original album. And as someone going back to listening to Megadeth, like I got into about 15 years ago, I started getting into Megadeth. You want to hear the originals. You want to hear what everyone else was familiar with. Like some of these takes are just bad, just flat out bad, I would say. Like it's much more menacing in this version. I mean, wow, this is bad. Listen to this vocal line. Ooh. I mean, that's way better. There's also rumors that maybe alternate takes were used on Take No Prisoners, so it could be from the original, but an alternate take was used, and there's a reason it was an alternate take. It wasn't a good take, and that's clearly what we hear here. It just does not sound right. Okay, so like that part there, let's listen to 105. Wow, I mean, whew. Then that sounds like an original take. So there's some weird alternate takes in there, not good. I think the guitar solos are the same though. The solos are the same. And it's a little louder on this version. So I wish the solo level that we had on this version was on the original, and we'd pretty much have on the remix was on the original, and we pretty much would have like the perfect song or something like that. There's also alternate vocals on Five Magics. And they're more menacing. Let me show you guys. They're not as bad, I think, as Take No Prisoners, but different nonetheless. But more menacing than the re-recorded versions. And the rest of the songs don't have any re-recorded parts. They're just remixed like we got on Holy Wars and Hangar 18. What I do want to focus on, though, is on Tornado of Soul. Oh, no, excuse me. On Five Magics is an additional vocal part. Now, I actually think this part, let's go here where it's got like this pitched down vocal, actually sounds better on the remaster. Where it's like pitched down here. I mean, they both got their own vibe. It's not that egregious on this remix here, but I just think replacing the vocal takes is not good. The vocals are more present here, for sure. I mean, some of these are a little silly sounding, maybe better on the remaster. I think that sounds a little better. That's just my personal opinion there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Now, Tornado of Souls, the solo is much, much louder on the remix. I'll show you guys. Listen up right here. So that's original. So as a guitar player, I like that the solo is, you can just hear it better on the remix. And I think that's one of maybe the downsides of the original is that the mix, sometimes the balance isn't as perfect with the guitar solos. I wish they were louder. They are louder on this version. Like I can clearly hear it. And on the original, I kind of have to listen in a little bit. So those are the big differences there. But that is the comparison of Rust in Peace, original 1990 versus 2004 remix remaster. Overall, you know, the guitars, bass, they aren't changed. They're just mixed differently. On drums, we get some samples and replacement. But overall, you know, they're two different balances, but I don't think it's like a giant, massive difference where it's like really distracting. I listen to both at times. It's fun. One's kind of a better like audiophile experience, and one is like you get the original rawness of the 1990 version. The worst part is the replaced vocals. Those are distracting because some of the vocal performances on the 2004 remix are just flat out bad or are just distractingly don't fit with the other ones. So I think that's the most annoying part, but I do like the boosted solos on the 2004 remix. So let me know in a comment down below, which version do you listen to? Which do you like better? I would like to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know if there's any albums you'd like me to break down to compare the remixes and remasters of. I've got the whole Megadeth discography to do. I've got a bunch of other bands to do, and I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. So like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more of these future videos. And thank you so much for watching. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.